Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the world's biggest stars, some of the world's most famous people, and people that people like to talk about. People like Kitty Brucknell. How are you?
Hi, I'm really good. Thank you so much.
Hey, listen, how lovely to talk to you. You're the lady that basically owned X Factor the other year. Everybody was talking about you. That's fun, isn't it? Did you mind being the sort of villain that they made you out to be?
I did, because I didn't, it wasn't who I was. I mean, it was just a bit strange. So I think at the very beginning it was really difficult because of my first audition. But to the producer's credit, like once I had a chat with them, explained like why I was so unhappy, I think they tried to sort of change it. So I think I did turn the tide quite a lot during the live shows, which I was really grateful for.
You did. I mean, the good thing is, though, you stood out and people talked about you. That's the most important thing on that show. You don't want to be the guy that everybody's forgotten within 3 minutes. The payoff to that, though, of course, is that then the papers will have a field day. When you're amidst that nonsense, is it intimidating? Is it fun? Is it wonderful?
Well, I think the most intimidating thing is, I think, doing interviews, with newspapers, and then knowing that they're going to just go home and just write something awful, and that really scared me because, to be honest, like, I like to write, I like to do, I like sort of current affairs, and I like all of that sort of stuff. So I was putting these people on a pedestal before I went on the X Factor, and then suddenly I found out that it wasn't like that at all, and that was really difficult for me because I wanted to. I'm fascinated by the whole celebrity world, but I didn't really see myself as a celebrity. I didn't really want to chase fame. I'm just really obsessed with being a musician. So, it didn't really work out like that, but it's okay.
I get your obsession with celebrity. I mean, you spent much of your latter career recently, impersonating people like Britney and Christina and Lady Gaga. Being a tribute act, let's cover that to start with. I mean, is that fun or is that frustrating?
Do you know what? Okay, I only did a tribute act because it was extra money in the bank. I had no interest in pursuing it as a career. And to be honest, I didn't actually do that much as a tribute. I think the papers blew out of all proportion. I just bought some costumes and, did a few gigs as Britney and Lady Gaga because my agent said, look, you can either sing for 100 quid in a pub and have people pour beer on you, or you can dance around on a nice big glossy stage as Britney Spears. And I was like, well, that was like a really long time ago though. Like, I've moved on so much since then. I don't even see myself as that person. I probably don't even recognize the same person like that I was when I did that.
I would have liked to have seen you in those days. I mean, you are foxy. As I look at the pictures of you now, are you pleased with what they've done? I mean, I look at your website. You're foxy. You're hot, aren't you?
I try to be. I wouldn't call myself hot. I don't really see myself like that at all. I just like outrageous dresses and I like outrageous clothing and I like to have fun with it. So I'm not really the kind of person that goes out wearing jeans and a t-shirt unless I specifically want to hide.
And I guess you can do from time to time. That's great. But I mean, we all know you for that sort of outrageous look. I'm a single guy who, deeply unattractive, very small package. What chance would I stand with a lady like you?
Oh, it's all about it's all about personality for me. I'm not really interested in what people look like. I've dated all sorts. I've dated like really beautiful, hot guys who have absolutely nothing to say, and it's fine. You can just sit there having dinner, just staring at someone. But for a while, after a while, it kind of gets a bit boring, and just like, please say something interesting, please, or I'm going to go to sleep. I need to be stimulated.
Well, stimulating I am. Definitely stimulating, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And I can make you laugh. I mean, if I took my clothes off now, you'd be in hysterics.
Maybe, quite possibly. I don't know until you do, so perhaps that's what you should find out.
What I do know about you, I've got a lot of people in the West End. I mean, and you have been around for a long, long time. I know people think your career starts when you begin on something like X Factor, but of course you've had such a huge, varied career in the past, haven't you? What's been your highlight? What have you enjoyed doing the most?
I actually really love doing China. I actually went to China before X Factor, and then he brought me back out again to do it again, and that was probably the best thing I've ever done. It was incredible, and I want to go back there. I keep emailing the agent. I was like, book me another tour, please. I just want to go back there. Like, I absolutely love China. I think it's one of the best countries I've ever visited. So.
What's so great about it? What do you love about it the most?
Oh, I just love the culture, and everyone dresses up when they go out, and it's not a question of, you know, going out drinking and getting drunk and throwing up outside. It's going out, and it's completely different culture. Like, a lot of people are really into karaoke there, so they'll go to a nightclub, but then they'll go to a special room, and then they'll play dice. Like, these old businessmen, they will have, like, you know, whiskey and you know, and drinks, but they'll play dice, and they'll, you know, it's like really old-fashioned, like Downton Abbey stuff, and then they'll have some pretty girls singing karaoke, and then they'll shake hands, and then they'll go home, and it's like, it's really strange, but I love that, and I think it was just so different from anything in the UK. And as well, Egypt as well was like, Egypt has always been my obsession. I've been obsessed with Egypt since I was a little girl, so I was super excited when I got an opportunity to tour there, so yeah.
Well, there's no chance of you going back there immediately because you've got this new single out, Glitter in the Sky, which I listened to this morning. It's dancey, it's funky, it's going to go down gangbusters in GAY, isn't it?
I hope so, yeah, if they play it. But I wanted to write a happy song, and I wanted to write, I think this is probably like the most pop record that I'll ever release. I think a lot of my other stuff is going to be a lot darker and a lot more rocky, but I wanted to have something fun, and I wanted to have something, you know, that I could have fun with. So it gives me the opportunity to, throw glitter around and have fun with it.
What's the ultimate goal? I mean, it's almost impossible to get airplay anywhere at the moment. Does that bother you whether Radio 1 play it or not?
Not really, because I'm just starting out. I mean, if this was like my 8th single and nothing was happening, I'd be a bit gutted. But at the present time, I'm just happy that it's getting played at all. I mean, when I released the video, I couldn't believe it because I got like 30,000 views in about a week, and I was so shocked. I can't even describe how amazed I was when that happened. And so, you know, anything that I get is a bonus, really. And I think I can only there's only, you know, you can only go up, you can only go upwards. So I'm just really looking forward to the future.
You've got a beautiful voice and you've got a talent. If you were to speak to yourself 2 years ago, or to anybody listening to this now who's thinking of following your path with X Factor, would you recommend it, or is it to be avoided?
I don't think if you're like super eccentric like me, I don't think it's a good idea at all. I tried to change it, and I tried to buck the trend in terms of like, you can be a singer, but you can also do all these eccentric things. I tried to sort of change that a bit, but I don't think it's really worked, because at the end of the day, it's not really the fault of X Factor. It's generally like the voting public. When you get a winner, even on other reality shows, your winner is usually the one who everybody likes, and they appeal to absolutely everybody, which doesn't always make for a great artist. Because I think being an artist is about polarizing. It's about, you know, giving people an opinion and, you know, asking people questions. I think that's what music should do, is ask questions. So, you know, if you win a show like that, well, great, you know, congratulations, but it means everybody likes you. Is that really what you want? Because to me, the greatest artists in the world, they don't just have people that love them, but they've got their haters. And I think actually it's the haters that make the artist more successful. I mean, look at like Justin Bieber and, you know, all those sort of people. Like, they get so much flack for what they do, but they're some of the biggest stars in the world. So, you know, I can really say it's not something that I would recommend.
What concerns me at the moment is ITV are asking people to go and audition for a show that's meant to be you go and audition off your own bat. It seems like they've got an agenda, and certainly in the editing, they can make you, but they can equally try to break you, can't they? With no conscience.
Nobody can break me. They tried, but I'm unbreakable. I refuse to be broken. It came very close, but I refuse to be broken. They can. It's not really a conscious thing. It's just it's the nature of television. That's what people have got to understand, and a lot of people don't realise what they're getting themselves into. Because I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I thought that it would just be a fun thing to do. I had no idea I would be that person. Like, I had no idea. I thought they would get it. I thought it'd be like super serious, and they would be like, oh, I'm really interested in you as an artist. and it wasn't like that at all, and that was quite hard.
That's what's worrying, isn't it? They sort of want you to conform to their agenda, not the other way around, which isn't...
I'm a very controlling person. Like, I am such a perfectionist in everything that I do. So it was quite hard to give up control. I don't think there was any judges on the show. I mean, I didn't really speak to Kelly Rowland. I didn't really get to know her. I think I spoke to like 3 times in the whole time I was on the show. But all the other judges, they seemed lovely. Like, I got to know Chalisa really well. I mean, Gary was very ambitious with his voice, but he always had time for me. Like, if I asked him a question, he would always have time for me, which is lovely.
Talisa's an interesting one again, how you can go from that mega fame, being number one, to be shot down in flames. It's a cruel business, isn't it?
It is a cruel business. I was always championing Talisa. I was actually really shocked at some previous contestants who went on Twitter and completely judged her without even knowing the situation. That really angered me, and I thought, well, why are you saying this? How dare you say this about somebody when you have no idea what's happened? Right. Okay, it might be true, but it really, that really upset me, and I thought, well, this isn't right. Like, I knew that it wasn't true. Like, I just knew it.
I think she proves in 2014 it is a handshake with the devil, isn't it? If you take that paycheck, this business can treat you how they want.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of rewards, and it's about how you use it as well. I mean, I think there's a lot of artists out there who have had a lot worse things happen to them, but they've still come back fighting, and I don't think Talisa's got any problems. I don't think she's got anything to worry about. I think she'll come back bigger and better, maybe this year, maybe next year, but I definitely don't think this is the last we've heard of her. So.
You've released this single, you've got the album on the way. Where do you want to be next? What's the big dream for you?
Well, I guess the next thing I'm going to do is release my second single, which I'm super excited about, because that's totally different to this one. It's like almost the opposite. It's like super dark, it's a little bit controversial, it's a little bit, the lyrics are a little bit unusual, and we've put a lot of world music in there as well, so it sounds like something that would be recorded in Egypt. Like, we had this amazing Egyptian violinist that came in and recorded on it, and then I want to sort of go in that direction as well with my music. So people always say like the dream is to like perform in arenas, but to me my dream is to make my living from music and to have my music heard by people and for people to like it, you know.
And the reason I have great admiration for you, from the beginning, right from the start, you've stuck by your guns and you're doing what you want to do. You're true to yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm very true to myself. I've never, ever been fake. And that's one thing that I really get irritated with. If I see someone I expect who's being fake, it's just like I call them out immediately, because there's no... Why would you do that? Why would you be fake? I think there's a difference between being someone on stage, like a character on stage when you're performing, but then afterwards, you've got to be yourself. You know, you've got to come off stage, and when you do interviews and stuff, you have to be yourself. And I think sometimes that's not real and that's not true for a few people that have been on the show. And I think other things as well. Even in the industry, like, you come across people who you think, oh my God, they must be the nicest people in the world, and they're not, and it's really hard.
Yeah, it is. It's always disappointing, actually, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit disappointing. But you live and you learn.
You're feisty and you're fit and you know your own mind. As for men, I know the papers love to talk about this. Is it hard to approach you? Is it hard to get in your inner sanctum, so to speak?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm so focused on my career that I think a lot of guys find that really intimidating. So, it's just not really something that I'm bothered about, though. Like, I couldn't imagine, like, getting married would probably be, like, the worst thing that I could ever think about. Like, it would be like being chained to a desk. I could not imagine myself getting married. That'd be, like, the worst nightmare for me. I just wouldn't want to do that. I'm not romantic in that way. I just don't see it. I have the most amazing friends, and they're from all walks of life. Like, one guy, like, my best friend manages a glamour model, and like, our worlds are totally different, but we're like the bestest of friends. And then one of my friends is a comedian, like, she's amazing, and we all have like our different things, and we're all like really focused on our own things. And I don't know, I think friendship is the most important thing.
And you don't yearn to wake up cuddling in the morning? That doesn't bother you?
No, not at all. God, I can think, I can't even, do you know what the worst thing would be? It's for somebody just be sleeping next to me and snoring all the way through the night and me not getting any sleep. That would be the worst thing. I'm sorry, but I need to sleep. So yeah, no, definitely don't want that.
Well, listen, I wish you well with everything. You can find out more by going to kittybrucknell.com, which is the website. And where can they hear the new single?
They can go to glittersingle.com, and if they actually go to that website, that will take them straight to the pre-order. And that's all I need is to be able to, get my single heard. So if you want to help me out in my little journey, then go to glittersingle.com.
Brilliant. You can hear the new single. It's called Glitter in the Sky, and it's by Kitty. She's the big name from X Factor that everybody loves to talk about. I wish you well. Thank you so much for your time.